Hey everyone, welcome for the weekly wrap up for the week of November 13th. So we're almost to the end, guys. We're moving into week 12. This week we're going to be talking about topic 21, which is decision making. That goes along with chapter 3 out of your text. Now, if you look at the course syllabus, and we'll review this towards the end of the weekly wrap up today, there's no assignments due this week, so just focus on learning about decision making, maybe getting a little bit ahead, prepping for your quiz 5, which is next week, the week of November 20th, and that's going to cover topics 18 through 21. So you can be reading ahead, and getting prepped for that quiz next week. Now I do want to look at the quiz from last week. Overall, guys, really great job. Let me pull my notes here and see the average for last week. Average on the quiz was an 81.03. I think that's really great. You guys are seeming to be understanding the material really well. A couple questions not overly missed by the class as a whole, but I did have a few miss these two questions that I'm about to go over, so I wanted to get them captured here on the weekly wrap-up. So the first one dealt with the cultural differences, and we talked about, or the question referred to, why it would not be appropriate to ignore these cultural differences. And if you refer back to the text and to the lecture, what I was really looking for was really that our different cultures that we have working in the workforce, each one has a different sign of how you respect them, their different beliefs and their different value systems. So we can't really go around assuming that what we find respectful, another person is going to find respectful. You actually may end up insulting them or causing them some type of offense. So that was the first question I wanted to go over. The second one is right here. This was a multiple choice question. Again, not overly missed by the class as a whole, but I did have quite a few, well, not quite a few, but I did have a few, enough miss it to where I wanted to cover it. Let's put it that way. So we had the multiple choice question where we have the way that we approach interviews where coworkers conduct that initial job interview for applicants and then make their recommendation to the manager. That is going to be known as a team interview. So your team is coming together, interviewing one person, and then making that recommendation. So two questions that I wanted to make sure I went over from the quiz last week. Let's navigate over to content and check out our course syllabus just to make sure we're all on the same page with what's going on. Jump over to course outline. You can see we keep on scrolling down until we find ourselves in week 12, November 13th. So again, topic 21, decision making, referring to chapter 3, competencies that we'll be covering throughout this topic this week. And again, you guys get a break this week. No quiz, no discussion board, no papers due. Speaking of papers, I am working through your scenario analysis presentations, and I hope to have those grades up and finalized by the end of this week. So you guys just stick with me. What I've seen so far looks really great, looks right on track. But I do want to encourage you, be looking ahead, because yes, next week is Thanksgiving, but we still do have class next week. So you will be going over topics 22 and 23, fairly short, talking about fundamentals of control and budgeting and finance. So it's going to deal with chapters 25 and 26. Now you do only have one quiz next week, topics 18 through 21. So I would encourage you to use this week to begin prepping for that quiz next week, and hopefully you're in a position where you could either take it at the beginning of the week or maybe towards the end on a Saturday or Sunday after we do a little Black Friday shopping. So guys, again, really great job last week. Take a little break this week. Make sure you're staying up to date on the topic, getting prepped for the quiz that we have coming in another week. And then looking into week 14, so 2 weeks, the week of November 27th, we're going to be going over topics 24 and 25. No chapter associated, but there is some supplemental information that's posted under those modules that go along with those two topics. And then we do have our final class discussion, number 3, that's due that week by December 3rd. And then week 15, it's almost here. I can't believe it, but we're moving into the final week that week. and final exam week the final exam will be held that week, so that's going to cover everything since the midterm. So it's not cumulative, but we are going to be covering all topic modules since the midterm. So, even though you don't have any assignments due this week on November 13th, maybe wanting to take the time that you have to kind of start getting everything prepped, start getting everything together, and start preparing for your final exam, because guys, it's going to be here before we know it. We're only about 3 weeks out. Again, great job this week, guys, working on your scenario analysis presentations. But if you have any questions, any concerns, make sure to, email me, stop in if you're local on campus. Take a look at your quizzes. I want to strongly encourage you guys to go through and review those. You will probably have to log into Lockdown Browser to go in to review those. So if you're having any issues, please let me know. Guys, have a great week, and we'll see you back next week.